So when you buy a DSLR camera and you've spent £500 on it, you get it home and you think, this is going to be brilliant, this is going to be so much better than the pictures on my smartphone. And that's not always the case. And the reason for that is that the lenses that they come with aren't usually very good. When I bought my Canon 750D, it came with an 18 to 55mm 5.6 lens, which is this one here. How do I best describe this lens? It's alright, if unspectacular. It's basically like the actor Tobey Maguire, if Tobey Maguire were a lens. So if you want to start taking awesome photos, you have to immediately go out and buy a new lens. So which lens should you buy when you've just spent pretty much all your money on a camera? Well, luckily one of the best lenses you'll ever buy is also one of the cheapest lenses you'll ever buy. I'm talking about the Canon 50mm 1.8 STM lens. The f1.8 in the name of the lens refers to the aperture, or the size of the hole which allows light into the camera. The wider the aperture, and f1.8 is a particularly wide aperture, the more light is let into the camera, so it performs better in low light circumstances. The other upside of this is that you get a shallow depth of focus, which means you get a nice blurry background, or bokeh as it is often referred to. And this is what takes your photos to the next level. Whenever you see a great portrait, the background is invariably blurred. And you're able to achieve this effect with this very cheap lens, which comes in at about £110. Before we go on to do a bokeh test, let's take a look at the lens itself. The lens has a metallic ring where you attach it to the body of the camera. This is an upgrade to the old version of the lens, which was plastic and prone to breaking. There's a switch to change from autofocus to manual focus, and the manual focus ring feels quite smooth. The motor that drives the autofocus is fairly quiet, a lot quieter than earlier models, but it's still loud enough to be picked up by an on-camera microphone when recording video. So if you're making films with it, you should either use a manual focus or an off-camera microphone. Okay, so let's do that bokeh test. For this test we're going to use my friend Monkey, and we're going to use a chart like you might find in an optician's. First we're going to look at the chart in focus through the 18 to 55mm lens. We're then going to switch focus to Monkey. Now that Monkey's in focus, look at the background. You can still see there's a chart there. You can still read some of the letters probably. So there's a little bit of bokeh, but not a significant amount. Now let's look at the same scene through the f1.8 lens. Here we have the focus on the chart. We can see all the letters probably. Now we shift focus to Monkey and look what happens. We can barely even see that there's a chart there, let alone read the letters on it. So I think you'll agree that the difference here is quite significant. It's like comparing a Lindt chocolate to, say, a chocolate that you've got out of an advent calendar that's 3 months out of date. And that's why, for my money, the f1.8 50mm lens for the Canon is the best bargain in the world of photography. That's all for me. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.